activity. So there's a graph here that says the young men, share of men and women between the ages of 18 and 30 reporting no sex in the past year. And that has gone up from 10% to 30% for men since around about 2010 to 2020 to now. Right, so over the last decade, the number of men reporting no sex in the last year has tripled, and the line on the graph has got where Tinder's introduced, and it is exactly when men, where that inflection for men beginning to go from the 10% to the 20 to 28%. Women also actually stay flat for a little while, but have increased, which is also very interesting. Wealth in Tinder is not distributed equally. Attractive guys have more wealth in the Tinder economy. They get more likes than unattractive guys. That's the bottom 80% of men, bottom 20% of women, top 80% of women, top 20% of men thing, which a lot of people are familiar with.
Good day to you all. I hope that you're feeling blessed and highly favored, of course. As you just saw on the clip, according to this article published by the Washington Post, the article stated that reported a rise in sexless men, or men that are going without sex, that it actually has peaked over the course of the past few years. Now, this is astonishing. I mean, in other words, you niggas ain't getting no booty out here, man, so, it is what it is. And, what I've actually came here to do on today is to actually, lend my services a bit, if possible, see if I could be of help to y'all brothers in any type of way, form, or fashion. Now, first off, let me say, the believer part of me, that part that loves Yahshua and loves holiness. I'm actually glad to hear this, that there's a decrease in fornication, and if you do fall into this particular category, first off, before I get into anything, let me say, if you aren't participating in these type of activities, sin is sin. So if you're not participating in these activities, then, definitely don't swap it out with anything else, such as masturbation or any type of foolishness like that. Just go ahead and do the right thing, and go ahead and get your life together and be the best you that you can be. Studies show that there is, some form of positivity about semen retention. So, that'd be a lot of pent up, retention there. So you can utilize that and be effective in other areas, so that's first and foremost. I did want to just get that disclaimer before I jumped into anything else. Now, secondly, going into really what I know you guys want to hear about, and that's ways to avoid being this, becoming this type of statistic. Now, the first way, and oftentimes, let me say this before I jump into everything. Oftentimes, I look at things, or people in general look at the world through their own valence, or their own eyes, so to speak. And so, oftentimes I have a tendency to believe that, the common man is moving at about my speed, if not better, well, not better, I would say, but just, if, because you do it well, if not better, and then you have those that are doing worse. Now, regardless of where you fall on this scale or whatever you're judging it by, that's not what I come here to discuss on today. I just mean as far as the level of female activity that you'll be introduced to. And, and oftentimes for me, I'm reminded of, I had a fly partner too, back in college, by the name of Kurt. And immediately after graduation or post-graduation, he got married ASAP. He got married, like he ain't waste no time. And I kind of saw that for him, because he was the type that always wanted to be around a woman. Like he wanted to marry lifestyle early, like, even in college, he wanted a woman to sleep over there every night, do his thing, kind of, go everywhere on weekend, this, that, and the third, and, which I also had access to as well. But, I'm going to say that story for another day as far as what I had going on in college. But as far as with that, I never understood it. And I remember a certain one statement that clearly stands out in my head to this day. And that was this, the statement he made as far as he told me, just, he's kind of just, just as soon as, you graduate, it don't get no better. Like, as far as, you're not around all these women anymore. What he call it, you're not around all these chicks like we is at, in college. Like, being in high school, it don't get no better. And, granted, he was a workaholic, he's not no street person or anything like that. So, I could see how that rationale made a whole lot of sense in his particular mind. But, of course, I knew better than that. And I knew what was in me wasn't in him. So I wouldn't give a damn. I knew the population of women wasn't going down, and I knew my mouthpiece wasn't gonna be broke no time soon. I knew I wasn't finna be ugly no time soon. I knew I wasn't finna stop knowing how to dress no time soon. I knew I was finna have this game. I knew I was finna reinvent myself a million times over until I'm old and gray. I'll still be able to reinvent myself, and I'll still have knowledge and information and wisdom and things that will definitely put me in position and far over many other men. And I say all that to say that no matter where I go across the geographic, it's my belief, and until otherwise proven, that I'm going to have a woman, and I won't be paying any woman or any type of shit like that for time, affection, none of that type of shit. We just not getting down like that. And if she not an asset to me, then shit, I'm finna find another. That's just how I'm getting down. So I say all that to say, not to toot my own horn, but to say that I have a tendency to look at the world in this capacity. I oftentimes forget that it's a whole lot of lame ass niggas out here, and if you're not getting no booty, now I don't even mean to, classify you as that, because that doesn't necessarily make you a lame, you feel me? Because, according to statistics, shit, you're not alone. Sure, if you just knocking down one or two and shit, you above average, my boy. You out here doing your thing. Well, give yourself a hand clap, my G. You feel me? Goddamn it. Again, we're not glorifying that in any type of capacity, but sure, we as people, this is a very common part of, relationships. And, before I get into ways that you can avoid this statistic, let me also say, by abstaining and refraining from, sexual activity, you are avoiding, STDs, you're avoiding babies, you're avoiding a lot of trauma, things to this effect. Because as I was mentioning in my previous video, a lot of men, this has been their downfall. The woman, they don't have the information necessary to preside over the situation with a woman correctly, and so oftentimes this leads to some foolishness, some drama, or subsequently the downfall of the man. And so in some way, form, or fashion, or to some extent rather, but getting back to things as far as ways to avoid being sexless and falling into this particular category, let me first say that first you have to be outside, in my opinion. Now, I've had, and I won't say a tremendous amount of success. Well, based on these statistics, I've had a tremendous amount of success online. I can definitely say that, like, starting from Facebook, and I'll stick with daytime period, to where they said Tinder was first introduced. So whenever Tinder came out, I know I didn't have one of those for the longest, but whenever I did jump on it, that Bumble and Hinge, I think they referenced Hinge in there. I've had a good amount of success on all three, as far as with the amount of likes and women that I'm meeting. Like, likes, I get them at a rapid rate, but now oftentimes, like, especially maybe they pushing me out the demographic, like, the older I get, like, because I'm 32 now. So it's like, maybe I'm not in there with the young shawties no more. I'm meeting women who, profiles talking crazy, like, they trying to get married, they're trying to find their husband online, and this, that, and the third. And, so oftentimes it doesn't come with anything fruitful. Like, and a large part of that is because I'm seeing a huge population of women that are unrealistic that are utilizing these particular websites, and typically everything that they put in their bio they're the opposite of that. so to speak. So, for example, if they say, well, I like a good communicator, I like someone that's fun, that's exciting, that doesn't mind showing affection, this, that, and the third, you'll get on the phone with this woman and she drives a cardboard box. Like, you looking at her like, dang, baby, like, do you talk? You know, and I'm a people person, so it's like, I really kind of, I really do this. And so when I'm speaking to a young woman, it's like, damn, bitch, you ain't got nothing that you interested in that spikes your interest, and then you run across it and you don't like what you see. You see some shit like, oh, she want to gossip, she want to goddamn talk about love and hip hop, some bullshit ass movies or some little whack ass shit, you know what I mean? Or whatever little job she got. That's really her life. That's all she knows. And then you'll see that she knows that. She know what school done taught her, and she knows about her boyfriends or ex-partners. That's who she has enjoyed her life with and shared all of her experiences with. So she really can't speak about much. But if you're not adept in communication, like myself, then you won't really know these type of things, and so you may be duped into thinking that something is wrong with you when you finally, and especially I can imagine, or only imagine, if I was getting one like out of every 115 women, to where it's like, okay, damn, I finally have a like, let me not mess this up. And then you see these prerequisites, so to speak, or these attributes or traits that this woman claims that she desires, and so you try your best to match those, and she's not giving you anything to work with. And so I can imagine an unsure man almost thinking like, dang, something is wrong with me. And oftentimes, sir, that is not the case. Going back to my original statement, you have to be outside, because in my opinion, and you can have success online depending on who you are. If you have if you have an excellent presentation online, then you're going to have likes, and then from there, if you have the communication necessary to go ahead and have it transition over, once you get on the phone with this person or actually look to take it to another level, you'll see where the chemistry stands from there. Oftentimes maybe I'm just, we're just on a different type of time, but I'm more so of an outside type of person. When women have a tendency to meet me in real life, maybe it's when they can smell me, when they can actually, view me. I think it may be the height, because I think they referenced that in the article as well, that most women, and that might be the likes as well, they put that if you're not, like, they say like 80% of women put it at like 6 feet or over. So they disqualifying a lot of men off of the rip anyway. And a lot of those women do ask me, a lot of superficial shit going on, you feel me? But fortunately, when you meet someone in real life, you don't have to go through these type of leaps and bounds, and I'm not really the type to waste time. So I will be done did this whole little interview and whatnot, did all this little frivolous talking, and then we meet each other in person, or I get you on FaceTime, and I don't even like how you look. I ain't even feeling you. Your crib dirty. You know what I mean? You come to find out your picture was old. You got 5 bad kids that you ain't specify, or that you ain't talk about on there, or you might have mentioned it on there, but damn, once I FaceTime you, I see it's real. They bad as hell. You gotta keep on putting the phone down. Montez, be quiet. LaQuisha, what did I say? Rynell? Hello? They crazy, man, but hey, this just is what it is. So oftentimes, and getting back to things I say all that to say, being outside, you're going to have much more, in my opinion, you're going to have much more success, and you're going to like what you catch a lot more, in my opinion, because you actually have the viewing. And fortunately, with women, in the first 15 seconds of them meeting you, they know whether they are going to indulge in those particular activities with you or not. So if you're getting the right responses right then and there on the spot, and then it carries over to a conversation, she's not playing. And then my personal favorite, if she actually reaches out to you, or she puts herself out there, and she's definitely making it obvious that she's attentive to what you have going on, then then that's literally right up your alley. But oftentimes if you're not receiving these opportunities, that's what you may be saying in your mind. Well, Justin, I'm not receiving those opportunities. When I go outside, I'm not speaking. Well, that brings me into my next point. You have to actually open your mouth and be able to speak to people, and oftentimes I know this is a huge fear for a lot of men. Just being able to strike up a conversation out of thin air, with an attractive young woman. But the main way to build up the confidence in order to do this, in my opinion, would be to, now granted, lean towards your strengths. And so, in my case, I would like to think that I have a good amount of a fair amount of strengths to where, regardless of the situation or circumstance, I feel that I can pretty much have some action at any woman. If she stops to listen to me for 2 minutes or more, if she is engaging, it really ain't no stopping it, But as far as with that, I feel like as far as to gain up that confidence, be the best version of you. You have to, for one, you have to be working out, reading, utilizing the mouthpiece, because when you're reading and you're listening to audiobooks, and I prefer the actual reading more than the audiobook, but for both of them, when you are able to articulate or actually express yourself how you want to, when you're actually looking good in the mirror, or you like what you see in the mirror, it's easy to reflect that out into the world, and people can actually feel those vibes. And so, I can almost guarantee that, even if you are an overweight person, or if you're a slim man like myself, whatever the case may have you, it's all about you appealing, you sticking out. And it's all about your opportunities. And I like this article, and it spoke volumes to me, because I'm a numbers person myself. I actually feel that everything really kind of breaks down. Well, this is common information in certain communities, that everything kind of breaks down. I believe these are the teachings of Andre Taylor, if I'm not mistaken. Definitely want to give credit to where it's due, but everything breaks down to numbers and value. And so even in this article, they said the average man will receive a like 1 out of every 115 women, or 1 out of every 115 women, you have a chance at a like. So even if those are not high numbers, that is still a like. Now, it's your job to go ahead and increase those likes that you're receiving. And so, oftentimes you may be held down by an algorithm of the application. That's not the case outside. Outside you have an unlimited opportunity to go and speak to as many women as you'd like to. You have the ability to go get active. And then, of course, this will increase the opportunities that you have, because you'll start to run across women at the gym, at coffee shops, or smoothie shake shops, whatever, gas stations, grocery stores. You'll have, you're going to feel confident. And all it takes typically is, 1, 2, or 3. Once you start getting turned up, I typically look at it like riding a roller coaster. After you get one out of your belt, you get on that one, that first roller coaster, you get it out your stomach, you're good to go. And another big thing that oftentimes I see what holds men back from having opportunities or meaningful relationships with women, or even having the chance to engage in sex or anything else with a woman, is the fear of rejection. Now, this is such a big thing, because I understand to an extent what you're referring to. No one, and especially from my understanding, that Capricorns don't like being made fools publicly, but I feel like that goes across the board. Typically I don't feel that this happens to you unless you make provision for this or give a reason for it to be. If you're a man of honor and respect, typically, this isn't going to occur. But oftentimes, that sense of rejection that one feels coming from a woman that they deem up enough courage to speak to or talk to, it can be heartbreaking or traumatizing. But, I come here to tell you on today that you can't get discouraged by this in any way, form, or fashion. What have we learned on today? That this all breaks down to numbers. And so, again, your goal is to get as many opportunities as possible up, because this is going to allow you an assortment to actually see what is compatible with you. The less that you have, the more that you have to settle. The less that you're going to feel, and the higher the opportunity, or the higher the chance that you fall under the category that we're speaking on today. One of these individuals that's going sexless throughout the course of the year. And that is not what you want at all, because I know, just for me personally, going without that touch of a woman for over, for months, my attitude changes a bit. I could be a bit more aggressive for sure, but it's just something that changes. And it's, just oftentimes I would be lying if I said it didn't feel good. That same rush that you felt back then when you met that first woman or that love of your life, you can experience that same rush again. That's the crazy part about it. You can experience that time and time again. This is not, diminished to just sex in itself, just as far as meaningful relationships with the opposite sex, whatever that you're into, whatever type of, if you just want to go on movie dates, if you want to have a partner to go have ice cream with, or whatever may have you, you're not going to have these opportunities. You might as well be sexless. You're not going to have these opportunities if you don't get out here, and if you don't at least be in position, bag something, as I like to put it in simplicity. If you're not gonna be in a position to bag nothing, then shoot, ain't nobody just gonna knock on your door and say, "Dang, here you go. I know you've been on it's been a little second. Whoop. I know Pornhub your best friend. I know X videos, all that type of shit. But now I got the woman that you've been looking for right here, big dog." Now you got some people who it's not gonna work that way, but you got some people who believe in fate, and things to this effect, and laws of attraction, this, that, and the third. And that's a different type of conversation for another day, because after you get past this, that little part of rejection and this, that, and the third, and you start getting some attempts out there, then it all falls into a thing of you may start looking at things from an aspect as far as somewhat how I do. You may not ever think how I do, but you may can somewhat grasp it to where you deem yourself as a prize, to where just because a woman is attractive, or just because you thought you liked this woman initially based off of her appearance, the deeper you dive into that, or if you're really about something and you catch everything in that interview, you're really going to save yourself some time, and then you can start doing your own filtering as to what type of woman that you actually want. Oftentimes, put up or settle with a particular woman, and you hear them say this all the time. Well, I got me a fine woman at home. Shoot, I got me a dime. Shoot, I ain't out here. I ain't even on the market. Shoot, if I choose something, basically making excuses as to why they aren't making any attempts. Because oftentimes you have to face the harsh reality. If you were to jump back out here, oh dang, women don't like me. And again, this goes back to that rejection phase. And then, but we've already discussed numerous ways how to to combat that, overcome that. Some more ways we'll be able to establish some flavor about yourself. Let me definitely put that one in there. Whatever your twist may be, even if you're not no dresser, even if you urban, shoot, half of these niggas they dressing out the mannequin anyway. So shoot, if you can't afford that, shoot, whatever it may have, you just got to be fly. It might just be your waves. You might just be in the streets getting money. You might be a boss at your job. Now, whatever may have, you just have to accentuate or embellish your positives. That's all everybody else doing anyway. You know, that's all these women doing. They're showing you the best of them. They're showing you they self filtered up this, that, and the third, man. So give them the best of you and put forth your best presentation. And you know, like I already mentioned to you guys, I mean, half these women can't talk good either, or they ain't talking about shit. And 9 times out of 10, y'all might like some of the same things. She probably watching cartoons with herself with her goofy ass. Yeah, I mean, sure. You know, you'll just be surprised, man. As to how you guys may hit it off, but just remember, man, every woman is knockable. You know, we have numerous examples of this. From, you know, my favorite is, you know, Diddy getting knocked for Cassie by the trainer. You know, but this happens time and time again, each and every day, and that's a whole different discussion and conversation. I won't even get into that, man, but definitely keep your head up, man. And man, you know, if you want these brothers out here not getting no cheeks, man, lay up off of that chronic masturbation, dog. You know what I mean? Shit, lay up off of that, my G, and goddamn get on out here, man, because it's a beautiful thing. You know what I'm saying? It's a beautiful thing. And you know, shoot, I know for someone who's really masculine, you're gonna need that good feminine energy, you know, kind of pipe it down at times, you know, kind of balance everything, smooth everything on out, you know. And there's just certain things in life that I desire, certain things at the place I'm trying to get to, you know, it just may not happen if I don't have, you know, a woman by my side that I can, you know, run that through. And you know, life without a woman, this shoot is, you know, it's it is what it is. Of course, you can sustain yourself alone, but that ain't how the Most High intended it. You know, that's not how the Most High intended it at all. You know, He specifically looked down upon man and said that it's not good for him to be alone. And then gave a woman from his rib, gave him another Adam, who Adam later renamed Eve. And so, you know, with that being said, you know, I ain't gonna get too much into the scriptures, but definitely just wanted to drop that off on today, man. Just for all you sexless men out there, definitely get in the game, man. Get outside. It's looking real, real beautiful, man. Get your attempts up, man. Get your confidence up. Jump in that gym, you know, get the reading. You know what I'm saying? Get your diet right. You know what I'm saying? Get some flavor, some appeal about yourself. And then, shoot, you're going to be back at it in no time, man. Shoot, and even if you ain't doing McDonald's numbers, shoot, because, you know, we not promoting that. We not promoting no, you know, type of, you know, just run around, just, you know, just airwell with it. But, you know, we're just promoting interactions amongst people, getting your ass offline and meeting real people in real life, you know what I mean? And letting organic relationships flare up from there, you know. But with that being said, definitely like, comment, subscribe, tell me what you think, man. And definitely everybody, until the next time, be blessed.